The time is over. Taiwan is really going into a big disaster. If some of you still think that the Chinese communists will not take over Taiwan, take a look at this. This is what is happening in China, somewhere in the southern part. The Chinese communist is preparing its military, especially in Fuzhou area, preparing to take over Taiwan. And it's very easy for them to take over. There is a piece of cake to them. And should the Chinese communists do this? Yes. Of course they should. Tell me why? Not! For all these times, even before World War II, Taiwan is already part of China. It's just that until now, they do not want to admit it. Then why do they still call themselves Taiwan the Republic of China? Why? It's still China, right? Republic of China is still China. The reason is just that the US government under Biden administration now wants Taiwan to be independent so that the US will continue to have power and influence in Asia. Do you think the US really care for Taiwan? Nah, man, no. When I saw this video for the first time, I was a little bit skeptical and I thought that it was another military exercise to threaten the Taiwan government. But why are there so many military vehicles on the road? Since I don't have a good or very good access to the communist news and the communists will not reveal what they will do next with Taiwan, I had some conversation with my friends in Shanghai and this is what I found out.
帮你打听过了，那个你昨天晚上跟我说的这个事情，有可能是真的，好像是最近是有动作。
对，那个东西战争真的有动作，真的是不得。
你那边台湾那边有什么想法了？你那边台湾那边有什么说法什么的，或者你要是你的朋友在台湾的话，当心一点，大陆有动作。
对哦，我们在这里看不到中国的大陆的新闻，所以有这个很多消息都不知道，所以
这个我这边能看到，我也问过我的几个有些朋友，他们比这方面比较懂，然后他们就跟我说，好像是有这个动作，是因为上面发话了，因为是要搞那个就是现任的那个习大大要搞那个政绩嘛。因为搞以前别的领导人都没有做到的事情嘛，他要做一下。这个不是小道消息，这个是确实的。具体好像是要在今年，好像是在新年啊，新年之前啊，要做好这件事情。微信上很多东西我也不能乱说，对吧？我就这样说一下，反正我打听过了，是有这个消息。啊，如果完成统一了，你就可以回台湾了呀，对吧？
In a nutshell, the Chinese communists is preparing for a war on Taiwan. If not because of this anti-side trumpeting to the whole world about the US troops stationed in Taiwan, the situation would not become this way. In fact, many of us Chinese already knew about the US troops in Taiwan. It's just that for all these years, the two sides have been staying in low-key and didn't want to blow it official. But the anti-side doesn't know her limit and how big her side is. Always is. She literally announced to the world about the US military troop. Is it necessary for her doing this? Isn't she provoking the communists to bring in the first bullet? At any time, the communists can destroy Taiwan with just an easy snap. Also, it's very unlikely that the US Army will think of sacrifice their life for Taiwan if the war really comes. Besides, this is supposed to be a feud between the US and China and has nothing to do with Taiwan. The US want power and China also want power. What has this got to do with Taiwan in the first place? However, it's just that the Taiwan government under the Tsai administrations want to bring the whole Taiwan into this trouble by continuing to kiss the butt of the US. After Trump, now Biden. Now there's no Vietnam War, no Israel War, and no more Afghanistan for the US to play with. Hence, their next target now is Taiwan. Very poor thing. Pathetic. The motive of the US just want us to fight against our own people. Chinese fighting against the Chinese, and we shouldn't be doing this. We should be united together and there's nothing wrong for Taiwan to be part of China. Moreover, the Chinese in mainland China are having a better life than the people in Taiwan. So what's wrong with unification? President Tsai. That President Tsai really have a stroke in her brain and that for no reason she provoked the Chinese communists again and again, the issue has become bigger and bigger and it's gonna blow. Whatever is happening in Asia, shouldn't US have to stay out of this and stop harassing or intervening in our matters? We don't need the US. Asia does not want the US to poke its nose into. Why should we need the US? Tell me why. Just because they are US or they have big democracy and let it control over us? It makes no sense at all. Be it democracy or communist, it shouldn't be a concern if the people are safe and secure and their lives are getting better, right? To the residents of Taiwan, my point to them is if you are Chinese, you are always a Chinese. Many of us, our ancestors, came from China. So let the unification begin.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share. Stay tuned for more to come.